Ursula von der Leyen embarks on her second term as European Commission President, facing a multitude of challenges. Her first term, marked by the unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic and the outbreak of war in Europe, demanded swift action and crisis management. Now she faces a different, perhaps even more complex set of obstacles. The rise of far-right and Eurosceptic parties across the bloc threatens the EU's core values and its ability to present a united front. Geopolitically, the ongoing war in Ukraine, the potential for a shift in US leadership, and an increasingly assertive China all cast long shadows over Europe's future. Von der Leyen, a seasoned politician, will need to draw on all of her experience and diplomatic skills to navigate these turbulent waters. Her success in securing a second term suggests a degree of confidence in her leadership from within the EU. The coming years will test von der Leyen's ability to build consensus, manage competing interests, and project a strong and unified European voice on the global stage. One of the most significant challenges facing Ursula von der Leyen in her second term is the growing fragmentation within the European Union. The rise of far-right and populist parties in several member states has injected a potent dose of Euroscepticism into the political landscape. These parties often campaign on platforms critical of the EU, questioning its efficacy, its democratic legitimacy, and its impact on national sovereignty. This rise in Euroscepticism manifests in a more divided European Parliament, where traditional pro-EU parties no longer hold the same level of dominance. Building consensus on key issues from climate change to migration to economic policy becomes more challenging as the political center of gravity shifts. Von der Leyen will need to find ways to bridge these divides, fostering dialogue and compromise to prevent legislative gridlock. Beyond the internal challenges, Ursula von der Leyen's second term will be shaped by a rapidly evolving geopolitical landscape. The ongoing war in Ukraine, instigated by Russia's invasion, presents the most immediate and pressing concern. The EU, under von der Leyen's leadership, has shown remarkable unity in supporting Ukraine, imposing sanctions on Russia and providing humanitarian and military aid. The war has exposed Europe's vulnerabilities, particularly in the realm of energy security, given its reliance on Russian gas. It has also underscored the need for a more robust European defense capability, capable of acting independently to protect the bloc's interests. Von der Leyen will need to steer the EU towards greater self-reliance in defense and energy, while maintaining transatlantic unity in the face of Russian aggression. Adding to the geopolitical complexity is the potential for a shift in US leadership. The challenges facing Ursula von der Leyen are not just political and geopolitical, but also economic. The EU is still grappling with the economic fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic, which strained national budgets and exposed structural weaknesses. The war in Ukraine has exacerbated these challenges, disrupting supply chains, driving up energy prices, and fueling inflation. Within this context of financial constraint, von der Leyen faces the difficult task of prioritizing competing demands. The EU has ambitious goals for the green transition, aiming to become climate neutral by 2050. Achieving this will require massive investments in renewable energy, sustainable transport, and energy efficiency. Balancing these competing priorities while ensuring fiscal responsibility will be no easy feat. Ursula von der Leyen's leadership style has been characterized as pragmatic and results-oriented. She is known for her focus on a select number of key priorities, her willingness to delegate, and her ability to build consensus among diverse stakeholders. Her experience as Germany's defense minister, a demanding role in a traditionally male-dominated field, honed her political instincts and her capacity to operate in high-pressure environments. However, her leadership style has also drawn criticism. Some argue that her focus on a limited number of flagship initiatives comes at the expense of other important areas, potentially leading to blind spots in the EU's policy agenda. Moving into her second term, von der Leyen will need to address these concerns while staying true to her strengths. Ursula von der Leyen's second term comes at a pivotal moment for the European Union. The bloc faces a confluence of internal and external challenges that threaten to undermine its unity, its values, and its standing in the world. The rise of populism, the war in Ukraine, the geopolitical rivalry between the US and China, and the climate crisis all demand a strong and cohesive European response. Von der Leyen's task is nothing less than to hold the EU together and steer it through these turbulent waters. Her success will depend on her ability to build bridges between member states, forge a common sense of purpose, and project a clear and compelling vision for the future of the European project. The world is watching to see whether the EU can overcome its internal divisions and emerge as a stronger and more united actor on the global stage.